The previous video in this playlist, I went over how configuration works for the Connect Edition products. It's really important that you guys understand that because when I go over the installer for our V2 workspace, it does not set the custom config location. That is a variable that will be used for more than just our workspace, so we are not going to take it over, we're not going to set it. We leave that up to you to set, and then just to make sure that you're putting our workspace within the configuration. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, go give that video a look, because that'll help you out as you're watching this video. So this video is going to go over really how to set up our V2 workspace.
So there's a couple steps to get set up, but we've made it extremely easy to get you guys going here. So first step is really just to run our installer. So the main thing the installer is doing is just giving you a couple different tools to help you manage and set up our workspaces. I will say this used to be called admin tools. There was a lot of confusion around the word admin. So I changed it to workspace. So if you have the older version installed, no need to uninstall. Just run this and it'll see that you have it installed previously, and it'll just update everything for you automatically. So who should be installing this? It really is just the people that are going to manage your workspace instances, right? So if you have like a cat manager, these tools are really for them to set up the workspace. All right, so it's going to install two tools. One's called the Workspace Setup tool, another one's the Standard Sync tool. So that's step 2 and 3. The Workspace Setup tool used to be a part of the installer, but I separated it out into its own app to kind of help with permission issues a little bit better. Okay. So without further ado, let's move on. And so what does the installer do? If you want like a bullet point list, it's going to create some install folders. It's going to install our fonts. So we have OHDOTCEv02 true type font. It's going to create a start menu folder called OHDOTCAD. That's where you're going to find shortcuts to launch the tools that it installs. And we also put in some extra links to some different websites in that start menu folder. It's going to make use of the program data folder to help keep track of where your workspace instances are, as well as it'll actually throw an install log there for you so you can look back on that. Add some registry keys, and that's about it. All right, so what other options are there? So there's the install, obviously, but then there is a modify, which is really like a change or a repair, an update, or an uninstall. So a modify, if you already installed it, you wanted to change a setting. Really, the only thing you can change settings-wise is the opt-in out of Google Analytics. After you install, I'm not letting you like change the install location. Not 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 many applications let you do that. So the other thing you can do is use this to repair. So I have a little screenshot down here. When you go to your like program features, there's like a change button. Well, you can run that and it'll run through and fix up the install files if something's going wrong. Update mode. So when I release a new update, you can just download that update and run it. It's going to pick up that it's a newer version and automatically run in update mode. You can run silently if you wanted to with the silent command line parameter. And then the uninstall, if you need to uninstall it, you can do that silently with a slash uninstall or silent and uninstall parameters. Or you can just do it the old-fashioned way through programming features and hit uninstall. Okay. So that's really all that tool is doing. So let's run through. So first thing to do is download the actual installer. So this page is taking a while. We've posted an update. So when you guys come here, this should say Workspace Tools rather than Update Tools. So hopefully here by the time you're watching this, that has been updated. So after you download it, you're just going to run it. So I'm going to start it up here. And to run the installer, just like any other installer, you will have to run it as an administrator. So let me bring that over. So I've launched this with admin rights. So here it just says welcome screen. You're going to hit next. You're going to accept the end user agreement. You're going to hit next. Opt in or out of Google Analytics. It's purely anonymous. Just help me keep track of, I guess, how many hits our apps are getting. Next is the install location, which don't recommend changing, and then you just hit install. So very simple installer, very easy. So this is more, if you don't have admin rights, you can get your IT to easily run this with all the defaults, and then hand it back over to you to finish the setup. So I'll hit install, and after a couple minutes, you should get this final screen, and this will kind of tell you everything it did. If anything was failed, it would be red, so it would be a real indicator that something went wrong. But I don't see any red, so it looks good. And lastly, it saved a log file of all this information right here. All right. So I don't recommend hitting this button. This is running as administrator mode. So if you start up the next tool, it'll carry over those administrator rights, and I just see so many problems with not being able to see the drive letters because it's running in different mode. So you can, but I'd recommend coming to the start menu and running that for the next step. So let's take a look at what it installed real quick. So if we go down to the O's, you should see the start menu folder, and there are your two tools that it installed, right? You also could verify the install directory if you really wanted to. So we can come here and go to the C drive and go to program files, and then you should see a OHDOTCEv folder. There's the WorkSpace tool, and there's the install files. Should have created this program data, OHDOT. There's the install log. There's some registry keys that got installed. So if we take a look at, say, our control panel and went to like program and features, we should see that application listed as well. So there it is. So we can uninstall if we need to, or we can run the change to. I'll run that real quick just so you guys can see. Again, it's going to need admin rights. So I'm typing in my admin credentials, and then it should start up. And so here is in the kind of modify mode, which really all you get to do is change your opt-in or out, but it will be treated like a repair as well. So you could run this to repair the install files if needed. So that is as simple as it gets with the installer. So the next step would be to run the WorkSpace setup tools. And so you can launch that from the start menu, which I'll show that in the next video.